What's up, lords and ladies? Welcome back to another video on this channel. So in today's video, I decided to give you guys my daily routine on a baby bearded dragon. Now, believe it or not, baby bearded dragons and adult bearded dragons have a very slightly different care. Baby bearded dragons require a lot more attention to details as they are a lot more fragile. Now, I know a lot of you guys own maybe adult bearded dragons and much more mature ones, but at the same time, you know, who doesn't want to hang out with a baby bearded dragon and, you know, maybe learn a thing or two that you guys could apply to your adult bearded dragons. But with that being said, let's just get started with this video. Let's go. But before we go, oh man, you think I'm not gonna be doing this? Nah, man, like we right now should be appreciating that I could still be making videos, because you never know, man. I could be getting sick and dropping dead. Okay, hopefully I don't get sick. But you already know what time it is. We gotta zoom in. Ooh, baby. I kind of have to be quiet because I think my brothers are still sleeping and I'm over here like, what's up? Honestly, sometimes I don't realize how loud I am in these videos until like everyone just like wakes up in my room or in my house. Oh man. But regardless, I'm just excited to be hanging out with my baby bearded dragon and just show you guys what I do on a daily to take care of her. So let's go. Okay, so as you can see right now, we got her just chilling. Look how tiny she is. Holy snap. Now, I still haven't decided on the name that I'm gonna name her, but I do really like the name Miracle because she was a miracle to even be born. You know, if you guys follow her story, kinda, I had a clutch of eggs and all of them molded out, and she was the only survivor. And I almost gave up on the whole entire, you know, eggs because they were just all just going really bad. And next thing you know, she appeared. So look how tiny she is. She is like super, super small. But with a bearded dragon at this size, you really want to be focusing on you know, their diet. They require a lot of attention to detail. As you could see, she is really tiny, so she could quickly get dehydrated, as well as she could also quickly, you know, stop eating and then lose a lot of weight. And she doesn't even have a lot of weight to begin with, so you really want to be focusing on everything, you know, in particular. But what I like to do in the morning, right now it's fairly early in the morning, the lights have just turned on and I do have them on a timer. So what I like to do in the early mornings is actually prepare or give her some veggies. So let's do that. So right now she's kind of like looking around, and I do have the veggies on the tongs, and I am gonna tong feed her these veggies. So hopefully she eats. Come on, girl. Now this is actually gonna be her first time eating veggies. Prior to that, I had her, you know, her veggies made, and she did not eat them, but as you can see, she's interested. This is the cutest thing ever. Now, one technique that I've learned when it comes to feeding a baby bearded dragon their veggies is to actually wet it. So as you can see, it is nice and wet. So the bearded dragon kind of is like, ooh, there's water on this. At the same time, see, like she's like licking her lips. So, or bearded dragons don't have lips. Why do I always say that? Whatever, like she's licking her, I don't even know what it is. But, oh, okay, yeah, yes. Ooh, she's eating it. Oh my God, she spit it out. So because this is her first time, she doesn't really know what it is, and I could just leave her inside of her enclosure and let her do her thing, but I really want to get her started off so she knows. And because she doesn't have her other siblings, they can't really teach her. Okay, there we go. Yes, that's how you do it. You see that? I am like the dragon whisperer. I don't care. Oh my God, like that right there is the first time this little girl is actually eating her veggies with like a little bit of help, but she ate a good chunk of greenery. But like I was saying, because she doesn't have her siblings, kind of teaching her how to eat, because when you put veggies inside of an enclosure full of hatchlings, the hatchlings will just automatically know what it is and go after it because they see water, and or they see that it's like nice and moist, so they assume that there's water, so they go for it and they start eating, and that would make all the other bearded dragons go after it and eat it as well. But because she doesn't have that kind of reaction of the other baby bearded dragons, because she's the only one, it is a little bit tricky, because I might put the veggies right in front of her and she just doesn't want to eat them. And that's what I did the past couple of, like, the past 2 days that I've had her, because she's only been alive for like 2 days, which is pretty cool. But I had her, she did not want to eat, but as you can see, she just started to eat her veggies. So I am really, really happy. Now, something that I do in the mornings as well with my bearded dragons is, if I'm not giving them a bath, I will go inside of their enclosure and either spray them down a little bit, or I would go in there with this ketchup bottle and kind of like make it rain. But yeah, as you can see, there's like droplets. Ooh, yeah, there's a droplet on its head. And what I like to do is actually give them water in this way. But yeah, like this little girl, she is not having it. But hopefully I could train her that it's gonna be okay, and I could actually give her water like this. Okay, she has a little bit on her forehead. Okay, that was a little bit too much. So she's still a little bit skittish. It's probably the Wilbert in her, because she is Wilbert's daughter. But yeah, hopefully I could get her to drink water from this bottle, or even from the spray, on a daily basis. Right now, yesterday she drank a little bit, so I'm not too concerned, as well as she did eat some veggies, so that's gonna be, you know, it's gonna help her with the hydration and everything. But look how tiny she is, like, she is super small. Alright, so when it comes to a baby bearded dragon's diet, they do require a lot of attention to their protein intake. Now, of course, they get their proteins from their insects, so you do need to provide them a good variety of insects as well. So I have some mealworms, I have some waxworm, and I have some crickets. Now, crickets are probably your best bet to be feeding them at this size, and then occasionally feed them some waxworm as treats, and mealworms, I would have them as backup, or you could always mix and match as well. But you don't want to overdo something, otherwise, you know, you start creating imbalances in their diet. They're just like us. If we ate a bunch of sugar or a bunch of bacon and a bunch of just different things that are not really, you know, the greatest for us, if we ate too much of it, you know, we might get overweight, we might start developing some you know, digestive problems. So the same thing goes with a, you know, animal, or a bearded dragon in particular. They can eat a bunch of different variety of insects, but if I only fed them waxworms its whole life, you bet it's gonna have some complications. So you do want to, you know, stay focused on what you're feeding them. Now, I am going to be focusing on feeding my bearded dragon some crickets. Now, I did try to get the smallest ones that they have, but there is a good variety in here. So I'm hoping that my bearded dragon actually eats some. You know, I'll be happy if it eats just a couple. You know, it really depends on the bearded dragon. Sometimes they just go like crazy and they eat a bunch. Sometimes they just eat a few. But if your bearded dragon is eating, it's a good sign that it is healthy. If it's not eating, then you need to do some adjustments to the temperature, you know, to the enclosure. But this setup is perfect for my bearded dragon. So yeah, let's feed it some crickets. All right, so I'm gonna drop in the crickets, and in hopes that she just goes crazy and starts eating them like nuts. So I'm just gonna put this like cup in here, and hopefully she like sees them. Okay, girl, do your magic. She's looking at them. Oh, ooh, one came out. Now I did put like 6 of them in there, so I just want her to like start eating them like crazy. That's really the hope. Come on, girl. It like walked right by you. Come on. Now, again, she didn't have, you know, a big meal the other day. She did just eat, you know, 1 cricket. So I'm hoping that she starts eating them. Come on, girl. Now, like I mentioned before, it is a little bit more trickier for her because she doesn't have the response of her siblings. Had someone else been in here, or another bearded dragon been in here eating with her, she would probably start to go crazy as well. But I'm really just gonna hope that she starts eating. So she did not want to eat it, so I'm gonna go in there with the tongs and kind of just put it in front of her face in hopes that she, you know, opens her mouth. Come on, girl. You know, I don't really expect her to be eating because she has only been alive for, you know, a couple of days. So I'm gonna hope that, ooh, okay. Now I'm just annoying. Ooh, come on. Girl, I know I'm annoying you, but I'm really just trying to get you to eat. I'm not trying to do anything bad. Okay. So I don't want to be stressing her out too much. What I am going to be doing is leaving the crickets in there and maybe watching her from afar. So I'll move that. She's kind of just like exploring her enclosure. Even though she ate some veggies this morning, I obviously want her to be eating crickets too. So I am going to be leaving some in there just in case she gets hungry. She is looking at them, so I'm not too concerned of her, you know, not being active or anything like that. She's obviously very alert and aware that there's crickets in there. She just doesn't really know what to do with them. So hopefully, you know, she gets hungry eventually. Maybe she's still full from that one little piece of veggie that I gave her this morning. So maybe she's still full from it, but I'm gonna just hope that she actually eats these crickets eventually. So yeah. Well guys, that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two. It's obviously so fun hanging out and trying to teach this little tiny baby bearded dragon to actually eat and to just function like a normal bearded dragon, because, you know, she's still learning all these things. Like, it's probably like, you know, her first time ever seeing crickets, veggies, and all of those things. And she is doing a really good job on eating, but as well as I still want her to get used to and doing things on her own. But, you know, you have to pay attention to those little tiny details when you're caring for something so fragile. So with that being said, that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Be sure to hit that post notification bell button and hit that subscribe button. You see that red button like down there? Hit that subscribe button because I am going to be posting more videos on this baby bearded dragon and all of my other reptiles as well. But right now I'm like focused on this little baby and making sure that she grows to be a superstar. So with that being said, I'm Lord the Lion, keep the blood pumping, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
You gotta hit that notification, hit that notification, hit that notification button, baby. You gotta hit that notification, hit that notification.